All right, I'm Richard Breen. I'm a reporter for multiple publications with Gannett up in Greenville, Asheville, Anderson, and whatnot.
Okay.
I wanted to ask you something related to linebackers and defensive ends specifically, because we've got some guys moving from defensive end to linebacker, Brad Johnson, what have you. How much of that is actually doing different stuff, and how much of it is you're still doing the same stuff, but you call it something different?
I think it's just a little bit of it. Inside linebacker versus outside is a little different. It's something that I think Brad is a little familiar with. He did it in high school. And it's also a way for him to give him we're thin at the position, so it's a chance to get some of your good guys on the field. Instead of him standing by me and waiting his turn, he's got a chance to go compete for one of the starting spots at the inside linebacker. But systematically, I think it's a little different versus the inside. And if you was talking to one of our outside linebackers and versus one of our ends, they're two similar positions. But when you move inside, it's a little different.
So the guys that went from defensive end to linebacker, there is a little bit of
a learning curve. Yes, a little bit of a learning curve. And I think it'll be a little harder for a guy who hasn't never done it before. Brad is a guy who's done it in his high school days, so he's familiar with it, and he's attacked it 100 miles per hour, which I'm very proud of him for that.
Okay, what are his strengths and the things that he's working on right now?
He can run. He's a guy that can run. He loves contact. I think the biggest adjustment will be just reading, digesting the plays, learning more of a formation, the offensive formations. But he's done fine. He was looked good in spring. I think he's been studying a lot in the summertime, and like I told him, I'm always here. If he got any questions.